Alright, so this is the saga that doesn't seem to end. Now, FNTASTIC, FNTASTIC, the guys that developed The Day Before, they made an official statement regarding The Day Before at like 3 in the morning on Twitter. And that's Central Time, by the way. The statement comes in JPEG format because why would it be anything else? And it comes in English and Russian. And I'll have a link to the Twitter post in the description and also to my repost just in case the original post somehow disappears. So, for posterity. Now, I won't read the entire statement because there's a lot of stuff that they talk about here. I will be picking pieces apart, but mostly we're just going to be going over some key points. The first section, it goes over addressing deceiving players. Now, they claim that they have worked on the game for 5 years, and which is kind of hilarious how this is the product that we got after 5 years of development. They also reinforced that they didn't take any money from fans during development, whether that be through pre-orders or crowdfunding or anything like that. They returned the money to players who purchased, whether they requested a refund or not. And they go on to say something super weird to me, and I quote, "How many companies return money like that?" End quote. Well, I feel like they had to do this to avoid a lawsuit or some sort of class action lawsuit, so it's cheaper just to return everybody's money and get got by the law. So there's that. The second section addresses deceiving the investor. Now, they claim that they still have a good relationship with Mytona, and The Day Before's closure did not affect the relationship, which I'll kind of come back around to later. And they also say that Prop Night was successful and partially funded The Day Before. Now, this next section I will read verbatim because Jesus fucking Christ, man. The section is titled, "Who Made Money on The Day Before?" And I quote, "Certain bloggers made huge money by creating false content with huge titles from the very beginning to gain views and followers, exploiting the lack of information about the game's development. Their actions triggered a gold rush among content creators due to the game's pre-release popularity." End quote. The thing is here is that the pre-release popularity is due to the game sounding too good to be true. Much like The Division when it was first shown off at E3, I think it was like 2015 or 2016, can't remember. That game looked really good, but when it came out, the visuals were downgraded. Granted, the game functioned like they said, but still a huge visual downgrade. A lot of people were not happy with that. But I digress. This section points to content creators talking about the game making the money, which technically I guess you could say is true. I mean, not my channel, I still have under 1,000 subscribers, so I mean, hey, if you want to hit that subscribe button to help me out, that'd be pretty cool. But this section does not address anything regarding the financials of FNTASTIC or Mytona. Now, I can't really find the post now, but I do recall FNTASTIC saying that they didn't make any money from this because of all the returns, all the refunds that they're doing. But still, no mention about anything regarding their own financials is discussed, which I think is what more people wanted to know about. The next section really just goes over about how the game was not what was promised. The section discusses features promoted, made it into the game, aside from parkour, which experienced bugs, so they had to take that out prior to release. And this section also mentions something about vehicles, and during my playtime of the game, I've never seen a drivable vehicle, but thanks to another Twitter user, it turns out, yeah, there were vehicles in the game. And I actually went and found a video of some vehicle gameplay by a streamer named Cotton, which I'll link in the description down below so you can see how amazing that gameplay is. And they also mentioned that people actually enjoyed the game, which I don't doubt. Like, every game's gonna have its fans, every game's gonna have its haters, and I feel like they're just really focusing on, oh yeah, people liked the game. They even name dropped Dr. Disrespect as one of those people, which I think I saw a bit of his stream during the first day that the game came out, and yeah, sure, it looked like he was enjoying himself, but in the grand scheme of things, the game didn't release in a state that was similar or anything like that to what was promoted in the marketing. It wasn't an open world MMO survival game, it was an extraction shooter, and there's no arguing that. That's what it was at release, and that's not what was marketed. And finally, this section also attributes the failure of the game to the hate campaign on The Day Before. Now, I don't necessarily think that the whole discussion around The Day Before was a hate campaign. It was more like just discussing the game for what it was. Like I said before, promoted as an open world survival MMO, released as an extraction shooter. Like, Like, you cannot compare the two. This statement is also confusing due to the fact that FNTASTIC discussed closure of the studio not long after the day before went live in December 2023. They also mentioned that the day before flopping didn't affect their relationship with Mytona, which is an odd thing to say for a closing studio, especially after a failure like the day before, because if I was in Mytona's shoes, I would be pretty pissed. So I'm thinking that there has to be some souring of the relationship because the day before failed and flopped the way it did. I love how earlier in the post they're just like, how many companies return money like that, but also how many companies blatantly lie about what their game is gonna be. Like, come on, man, pick a lane. Now, the humor of the situation isn't lost on some people. Just a day prior to this, a solo developer by the name of Crimson released a trailer for his own parody game called The Day After. And the timing of this is perfect because the trailer released the day after the day before went offline. It was intentional, and we all got the joke, and the trailer actually doesn't look half bad, especially for a solo developer. So if you want to check it out for yourself, I'll have a link to that in the description down below for you. And here I thought this whole saga was over, but it somehow keeps coming back. If this is a recurring thing, then it'll be entertaining, at least for a while, until it gets annoying and we all simultaneously stop paying attention to FNTASTIC. With that, if you hear thunder in the background, I'm sorry, I'm recording this during a thunderstorm. It's probably not the best idea, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, that's all I had for this one. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button if you have not done so already, because your boy's trying to grow this channel and all the help I can get will be greatly appreciated. That being said, stay hydrated. I hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you next time.